You can understand a lot about a culture from its language. We are living in a year where understanding the Chinese culture can be a really important thing. So I want to share with you all some of the things that I've learned about China from its language. First things first, when you think of the Chinese language, you are thinking of the dialect called Mandarin. It is one of 7-8 major dialects that are spoken and used in China. Now, Mandarin is a tonal language, so all of these things are said and mean totally different things. For example, ma, 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 ma. All of these mean totally different things. And this is Pinyin, not Pinyin, Pinyin. The first step to learning Mandarin would be to understand Pinyin and therefore how to say things, this being a tonal language. For a language said to be thousands of years old, Pinyin is very new, around 70 years old. To me, this was a signal of just how late this language has become truly accessible. Think about it. This language is thousands of years old, but only in the last few decades have non-Chinese people been able to truly understand this language. To be clear, they would have taught Mandarin earlier as well without Pinyin. There were also earlier attempts at alphabetization. But learning Mandarin without Pinyin would probably be like learning swimming by jumping into a giant deep lake. As I began learning the language, one of the first things I realized was that the language does not seem to have common words shared with other languages. Now, as soon as you start learning a language, common words are the first things taught to you. And when it comes to every Indo-European language that are thousands of years old, you can notice some similarities. So here's what I mean. Let's look at it in a historical context. India to Europe and the Silk Road were two major trade routes. Now, tracing from India to Europe, you have languages like Hindi and other Sanskrit-derived Devanagari languages like Marathi. Then you have the languages of what was once Persia, and then European languages. And for all of these languages, you can find a few common words here and there. As someone whose mother tongue is Marathi and speaks Hindi, I've been familiar with a lot of words that may have been derived from other languages. I've compiled a big list actually of all the words derived from languages of West Asia, and the link is down in the description. I'm not diving deep into all of these languages here. The highlight simply is the connections Hindi shares with the languages of its neighbors. However, tracing from China to Europe doesn't get the same results. I'm not going to go into the reasons why in this video. If you'd like to know why, tell me down in the comments and I'll make a separate video on it because it's an interesting topic. But here let's simply state the fact that there aren't any common words that Mandarin may have derived from or inherited from other languages. Not just languages of regions with borders with China, but in general languages of people who came in contact with Mandarin-speaking populations. I think this goes back to my point of just how constant, homogeneous or isolated this language has been. Now, to be clear, I am not speculating on whether this consistency, homogeneity or isolation was purposeful or unintentional. I'm simply stating it as a fact. Therefore, while Mandarin might rank high in number of speakers thanks to China's population, it has only started seeing any growth in the number of foreign speakers taking up the language. This is just the first video out of many that I'm going to make about my exploration of the Chinese language, that is Mandarin. We've only just touched the surface. Realizing that Mandarin has only recently become accessible to the outside world was quite something. Because as an Indian, I've constantly read stories of how people on the Indian subcontinent interacted with Middle Easterners and Europeans, resulting in so many common things, especially a long list of shared vocabulary. If you'd like me to explore something specific about the Mandarin language, tell me down in the comments. I'll be continuing my exploration of the Mandarin language in future videos, so make sure you subscribe to catch that. If you feel like you learned something, be sure to leave a like and share this video with your friends. Thank you.